Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is a full face of nothing new. I need to put some makeup on anyway, and I figured this would be a really good time for a full face of nothing new. I know a lot of you love these videos, and this is kind of perfect timing because I want to do my makeup and I want it to look good today, so I don't really want to experiment with new things. So that's what we're going to be doing. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube. I hope you'll stick around, subscribe, and let's get started. All right, I'm going to skip primer today. I don't feel like I really need it. So we're going to go right into color corrector, and I wanted to use the one that's been around the longest, Bobbi Brown. This is the original Bobbi Brown corrector in Bisque. I am just gonna apply this under my eyes, really focusing it right in this inner corner where I am the darkest. Been using this corrector the longest. This was actually, I think this was the first corrector that I ever used. Yeah, it definitely was. So this is the product that really got me into color correctors in general. It's a good one. You can also use a brush with this one. I just find that this type of formula works the best for me with my finger. I think it's because it's a thicker cream formula. Sometimes those formulas work better with your finger because the warmth from your hands and your fingertips kind of helps warm them up a little bit. For foundation, I'm going to use the Glossier foundation today. I really like this one. It's a good kind of everyday foundation. It's a little bit more than like a skin tint, but it's not a full-on full coverage or anything like that. I am using the shade Light number 2 in this, and I'm actually going to try using this new brush from BK Beauty. This is one of the Nikki LaRose brushes. This is her N17. So I'm using the lighter fiber side and just blending this in. I've only used this brush once prior to this, but I want to try it again with another formula. This brush is definitely a little bit different than what I typically use, which is my 106 from BK Beauty, but I've been really curious to keep trying this brush because of the brush that's been going viral on social media, the Makeup Forever brush. It's like, if you're on TikTok, you probably know what I'm talking about, but there was a video that went viral basically with the Laura Mercier foundation. I forget what the name of it is, but the newer Laura Mercier foundation. And the brush that was used in that video was a Makeup Forever brush, but it kind of looks like this. It was more of a flat brush. And I was curious how that one compares to this. I don't have the Makeup Forever brush, but it's definitely the same style of brush. I have a little bit more on the back of my hand that I'm gonna grab with my brush and just add it here where I like to build up my coverage a little bit. I really like this Glossier foundation. The finish on it is really natural. It's like right in between. It's not matte, it's not super dewy. I just really like the finish. It looks like a very skin-like finish without looking too much either way. All right, that brush worked really well with the Glossier foundation, that formula. I forget which foundation. I think it was my Yinsa foundation I tried this with the first time, and that one's a little bit of a thicker foundation than this Glossier, so I don't know. This is definitely a brush I want to keep using because it's just different from what I typically use. But I do really like how you can use it for powders and liquids and creams. So we're gonna go in with some concealer now, and we're using an oldie but a goodie, which is the Hourglass concealer. Similar in my opinion, to the Natasha Denona concealer, the High Glam concealer. You do not need a lot of it because it has a good bit of coverage. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit kind of in the center of my face. I'm gonna add a little bit anywhere where I want a little bit more coverage. This is also a lighter shade than my foundation. The Glossier foundation right now is just a hair dark on me because I have no sun at all right now. So this will help lighten it up just a little bit because this is lighter. And I'm going to use that same in 17 to tap this in. I'm actually going to switch to a smaller brush for under my eyes. I'm going to use my Sigma F03. I actually just washed all my brushes yesterday, so everything is like nice and clean. It's such a good feeling. This Hourglass concealer is so good. So good. The only thing with it, and I would say the same thing with the Natasha Denona concealer, is you don't want to apply too much because it just has a lot of pigment. So if you kind of over apply it, it can be a little bit heavy, but I really like it. All right, for bronzer, this is another really good product, the Tarte Sculpt Tape in the shade Cool Bronze. This is a product that is really good, and I feel like I don't hear anyone talk about it. Anyone except Martina, my friend Martina Lilly. I know she loves this too, but this is so good. I think it's easier to blend than the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. And this one has more shades. I want to say this one has like 5 or 6 shades maybe. So I'm gonna do 2 dots. And let's see, I guess I could try, I don't know if this is dense enough for this. So let's switch to this brush. This is the A507 from BK Beauty. I really like the shade on this in Cool Bronze. I wouldn't call it a cool undertone, honestly. It has warmth to it, but it's more of like a red undertone as opposed to the typical kind of orangey undertone in a lot of bronzing type products. This one just looks like a more realistic bronze color to me. It is pretty pigmented though, so you don't really need a lot of it, and it will blend out and really spread. For blush, of course I pulled out a cream and a powder, but the first one is going to be this. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Blush Veil in Nearly Neutral, no, Barely Blushing, which is literally the perfect nude. The perfect nude blush. I mean, neutral, goes with everything, and I think it's gonna match well with the powder that I picked. But let's go in with this first. I'm gonna actually use this brush again, the Nikki N17, and just start applying this. This is a really nice brush for a cream blush, I found, because of the shape of it, it really does fit exactly where you want it. And I don't know, it's just easy to apply a cream blush with this because it's not too large, so you can really kind of pinpoint where you're applying it, and you literally just tap it on. But this color is just beautiful. So natural, neutral, all the things that I love. The powder blush that I picked is the Laura Mercier blush in the shade Chai. I've never paired these two together before, but when I was looking at my blushes, I was thinking these two, I feel like the colors are very, very similar. So I am gonna apply Chai over that blush there. Yeah, so these are like perfect colors together. Both very neutral blushes, but I've never paired them together. Love. I did switch to a fluffier brush for this. This is the Smashbox Buildable Cheek brush. Love those two together. All right, for powder, I pulled this one out. Haven't used this lately, the Cloud Set from Kosas. One of my favorites. Mine broke. Did anyone else's cap break? Like mine is totally broken. I don't know how this happened, but mine has seen better days. It looks a little bit sad, but I still have a lot left in here. So we are gonna use it. I use the shade Breezy. And I like this powder because it sets your makeup without taking away all the glow from your face. It definitely does take away a little bit of shine, but not everything. It doesn't like totally mattify. All right, let's move on to brows. I'm gonna fill them in with the Mario brow pencil. This is the Master Blade brow pencil in Classic Brunette. Since we haven't used this in a while, actually, I really like this pencil. I just haven't been into my brow pencils as much, but this shade in Classic Brunette, if you're around my hair color, like a cooler, a little bit ashier brown, this shade is perfect. I am actually getting ready for a live with Martina, my friend. I'm sure a lot of you watch Martina too, but Martina Lily, we're going live together for the first time on YouTube. And so I'm getting ready for that. I have like an hour and a half, so I figured I would just turn the camera on and film this since I need to put on some makeup anyways. But I'm so excited. I hope some of you can tune in. This first one will be on Martina's channel, and we're hopefully going to continue to do more of these as long as we can figure it out and don't have any technical difficulties. And the next one will alternate, so it'll be on my channel. But I'm excited. We're going to talk about new makeup releases and what our thoughts are on them, so I'm really excited. All right, and then we'll just use the Mario brow gel also. I think mine is actually almost done. Just set my brows in place. Okay, I'm gonna quickly prime my eyes with my Sigma eyeshadow base. This is the shade Persuade. I've really been liking this 205 lately from BK Beauty for this step when I use some type of eyeshadow primer, because this one is it's angled. So it's like a little angled shader brush, but I find the little angled part gets right here in this inner corner, like where your tear duct is, and it helps kind of blend out primer there. So I've been really liking this brush for this. All right, for eyes, I really want to use my Victoria Beckham eye brick. This is the signature color, and yes, it is very neutral. It's 4 really basic shades, but they're all beautiful. Very much the Blair eye aesthetic that I really love. So let's go in with this. I'm going to go into this shade here, which is kind of like a beige, it's actually the color of my shirt that I'm wearing. And I'm gonna go into that shade with the 212 from BK Beauty. And I'm gonna apply this in my crease. And it's literally the perfect transition color. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it is literally the perfect color. It's extremely neutral, so it goes with everything. It's not too cool, it's not too warm. If you like a softer formula, something really buildable, really easy for every day, this formula is really nice. I'm gonna go into this light pink right here, and I'm gonna put this on the lid. So right here, and all the way across. And this shade, or all of these shades actually, have a little bit of shimmer in them. They're not like super glittery or anything, but they do have a little bit of a sheen. So I'm just tapping this all over. It's kind of the same color as that eyeshadow base that we used. So I put that there. And then I will use a smaller brush. This is the 211 from BK Beauty, so it's a tiny little crease brush. And I'm gonna go into this kind of taupey brown over here. And I'm gonna apply this in the outer corner, like the outer V. And then I'll just go back to the first brush that we used for that beigey shade and just kind of blend it out a little and blend it like up into that first shade. She has another one of these little palettes. I think it's called the Tweed palette maybe, but it has like a purple in it and I want to say like a gold, and I forget what the other colors are, but I really want that one at some point. So I'm going to do the same thing over here, kind of place it where I want and then blend it out and up into that crease shade. All right, it would be wrong not to use the Satin Kajal liner from Victoria Beckham. So I'm going to use Cocoa, which is the chocolate brown. I was going to use cinnamon, but I think I'm going to use Cocoa this time. And I am going to apply this on my lash line and in my waterline, but I'm just going to apply a little tiny bit. And then I'm going to take the 208 from BK Beauty and just kind of go over it, smudge it out a little, and kind of bring it out a little bit into a wing. And then I'm going to take, I'm actually going to use the little smudger on the other side and go over it a little bit with that as well. I always forget that these do come with the smudger on the back or on the other end so that you can really make it look kind of messy, which I really like. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the chocolate brown in here. Not much at all, just a tiny bit on a 209 brush. And I'm basically going to go over that liner with this and just kind of smudge it out basically. It's already pretty smudgy, but this will also make it really stay in place longer. I wasn't going to do this, but now I really want to. So we're going to use a little bit of the lid luster from Victoria Beckham in the shade Honey. Do you hear my cat? He's mad because he wants to eat. So I'm just putting a little bit of that in the center of my lid. And then I am going to put the waterline, or I'm going to put the eyeliner in my waterline. Really just where I applied the liner on the top lash line. So really just kind of in the outer half. And then one final thing, I'm going to take that first shade again, and I'm going to put that on the bottom lash line. Okay, for mascara, I pulled out the Merit mascara. This is the Clean Lash. I really like this one. The more I use it, the more I like it, actually. This is one, actually, that definitely gets better the longer that it's open. I feel like a lot of mascara formulas are that way, but this one definitely is. I wish so bad that they would make it in brown. For lips, I pulled out another oldie but goodie, Pat McGrath Structure. Okay, for a lipstick, I pulled out this one from Mario. This is his Ultra Suede in the shade Sam. And then I think I want a little bit of a gloss. Maybe this one from Pat McGrath. So this is the Lust Gloss in Flesh Fantasy. One final thing I'm going to do is take this Laura Mercier blush in Chai. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of this on my eyes too. Wow, this is a really good color, this Chai blush. I need to pull this out more. It's so pretty. I'm using the powder side of the Nikki N17, and I'm just adding a little bit more of that blush also. And this is the finished look. I love how this came out. I figured I would, since I picked products that are not new, things that I know that I really like. Some of them, things I haven't used lately, like this little Victoria Beckham palette. I'm so happy I pulled this out again. Such a good one. If you like the kind of eye makeup that I typically wear, this is like Blair in a palette, in a little mini palette. Glossier foundation, love. Yeah, even the blush combination, actually. That's what I was going to mention. This, if you happen to have these two things, this with Chai from Laura Mercier, so good. So good. I will have everything I used listed and linked for you below. I do use affiliate links that support my channel. If you shop through them, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed a full face of nothing new. I really want to incorporate more of these videos on my channel this year. Shop my stash, just using all the good things that we have and enjoying them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.